Good morning, MK. We're glad to have you back for our newest episode of News from the Nest. Today we've got a handful of info to share.
Exactly, Danny. For starters, we got the latest on general fitness and the mass effects on standardized testing. Let's get it started.
Working up a sweat is very important. Luckily, here at MK, students and staff have access to the weight room to do just that. Whether it be lifting or cardio, the fitness room is open to all with a multitude of machines and space to use. We send it over to Jordan Elliott, who did all the heavy lifting about working out.
Your fitness is essential, and not just for your physical health, but your mental health as well. That's why fitness is supposed to be approachable, motivating, and fun as possible. Experts recommend that teens get 60 minutes or more of moderate to vigorous physical activity each day. Working out also sharpens your memory. As a general rule, 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise is recommended as a weekly minimum. Exercise can help ease your mind and rejuvenate your body. Working out will make you feel great and boost your confidence. Someone who has trouble sleeping or staying asleep should work out more. Exercise helps to clear your head and helps you feel relaxed. Exercise and fitness prevent signs of aging, very important for health, and improves brain performance. Jonathan Jordan is an award-winning trainer at Equinox Fitness and says, "Working out alone primarily allows you to focus on your body and yourself. Working out by yourself can be lonely, and those who struggle with consistency can easily convince themselves to skip an exercise if they're having trouble. Working out with nobody else requires a decent amount of self-motivation. If you work out with a partner, that means watching them do their reps for an hour, and nobody wants to do that. Strength training, sometimes called resistance training, should be performed 2 or 3 times a week. Squats, lunges, push-ups, and the experience performed on resistant machines or using weights or bands help maintain and even build muscle mass and strength. Exercise is not just for the body, but for the mind as well. Somebody who doesn't sleep well at night should exercise and work out their body a little bit more. Exercise develops the brain and the muscle and is overall good for the body." This has been Jordan Elliott and Esteban Salcedo reporting for News from the Nest.
Thanks, Jordan. If you need a good place to work out, head on down to the weight room. Or, if that's not your style, there's always more ways to stay active. Any activity is better than sitting all day.
Speaking of sitting all day, what do we feel about standardized testing? The general opinion seems to be negative, and maybe there's a reason for that. Here to test your knowledge is BL8.
Standardized testing takes a great toll on many students. From a very early age, they are told that they can either make or break their future careers.
That leads to teachers cramming in lessons with students scraping by trying to absorb everything they can in a relatively short amount of time. Some teachers even feel as though they teach solely to prep for standardized tests rather than actually teaching everyday skills. In addition to this, standardized tests have an extensive history rooted in both racism as well as classism. According to the Stanford Daily, high-poverty neighborhoods and schools with more kids of color end up doing more test prep than wealthy white schools, giving good test scores tend to be more important. Likewise, resources are much more accessible to those with affluent lives, allowing them to receive greater help through costly tutors and online websites. To combat this, teachers alongside officials are looking to implement cumulative assessments that collect data over the course of the year in an attempt to acquire a better understanding of the level students are at and what should be focused on more in class. This would give students a more well-rounded education that doesn't restrict them in ways that most standardized tests do.
Overall, students are introduced to these exams pretty early on, having to partake in a process that isn't exactly one size fits all, making it pretty difficult to decide whether standardized testing is beneficial or adverse. This has been BL8 reporting for News from the Nest.
Thanks, Bella. I never looked at those exams that way. Maybe standardized testing will be treated differently from now on. I know colleges are already easing up a bit.
Well, MK, we want to thank you for joining our show today. We hope that you've enjoyed the packages.
If you'd like to see more, subscribe to our YouTube page by following the link at the bottom of Morris Knolls webpage.
Click the News from the Nest logo and then the bell to be informed of new uploads.
This has been the best from the Nest.